When you think of Gen 1 Pokemon, the first thing you remember is the Pokemon you chose to begin your journey with. Your go-to pick in a tough match, and the one who had your back when it was the Elite Four standing between you and being champion. So in honor of my starter Pokemon, I thought I'd sculpt them. Starting Squirtle out was a little weird because like any project, it's not going to come to you right away. I had to find the right proportions for him since he's such a simple character. I'm starting off with a simple rough blockout and we can focus on one side and then mirror it later since the character is symmetrical. Again, I wanted to see the placement and the size of everything before I really commit to it. Now when I do start to get all the proportions and the placements where I like them, that's where I start to refine his shapes. I'm trying to match the eye distance to the references as well as shaping the face. While it is round, you can see Squirtle still has structure and planes to his head, and I try to capture that roundness in more of the front view to really match the classic Squirtle. I've given him a little bit more of a beak because while this is anime, I should still have good secondary forms that help portray the character in 3D. I'm really happy with how this looks and I don't want to spend too much time on this. I want to do more fun short projects, so if you guys like this, go ahead and like the video and I'll do more of these. Now besides making some proportion adjustments, I'm just adding the shell details using the damn standard brush in combination with Orb's Cracks brush. The same thing with his tail. I thought the shell lines were a little wide, so I used the pinch brush to close the space between them, and on the back I'm using the H-polish brush to flatten the slopes of the shell. I think for a 3D version, while I don't want too much detail, I'm adding more to really define and characterize the shell since it's such a big part of Squirtle's design. At this point, I spent more than enough time on the sculpt, and I don't want to get stuck here perfecting the shape of Squirtle or else I'd be here forever. I started laying down my base colors of the shell and the body by using ZBrush's poly paint. I wasn't sure how to do this since I'm not used to doing anime style, so I made the eyes just like shallow eye sockets, and then I used a flat plane to fill in the eye and just made some adjustments. This piece is going to be carried by the poly paint and the rendering, so I'm not too worried about the eyes. Now I'm just adding a bit of shading in to some of the areas in shadow. It's very minimal. I'm just doing some hand painting to give it some variation so that it's not too flat like the models that you see in the game. I really wanted to emphasize this on the shell because turtles in the wild have a lot of pattern variation in their shells, and it stands out, so I wanted to mimic that here but not overdo it. So I just add some highlights to the shell to show off some of that. On the front of the shell, I wanted to have some wear because I imagine Squirtle slides around or lays on its shell often, and this is where it would have like wear. I'm not gonna lie guys, I was really happy at this point. I didn't think I'd have as much fun with it as I did, so I went ahead and put this in the marmoset, and this is how it came out. I'll definitely do more of these short projects like this. This really only took me about like an afternoon, so tell me what you guys think about this in the comments, and I'll see you in the next video.